Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We begin with mystic song by Shri Swami Lalitananda, played and sung by Shri Swami Umananda and Rajneesh.
Our song tonight is called All is Full. In the early morning, I hear the temple bells playing across the Ganges river, and the clouds of music from my window drift like white mist over the moving water. When the bells ring, the spirit of wind sings. All is full from Falcon's fall. Take full from full. What is left is full. All this is divine sound. Take the world away. What is left is wrong. All this is the divine sound. Purnamada, Purnamida, Purnamat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti We are recording from the ashram of our revered Guru, Pujya Atman Shri Swami Jyotirmayananda in Miami, Florida. Today is November the 2nd, 2018, Friday evening, and tonight Swamiji will be lecturing on the Tulsi Ramayana. This is series 2016, class number 127. And now Pujya Atman Shri Swami Jyotirmayananda.
Om Nilambujasyam Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panavu Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. And good news, the time for his marriage. Shri Ramcharitmanas, Baal Kanda. We are moving towards the verse number 323. and bring your attention to the context. Saint Tulsidas is presenting a highly allegorical setting of Rama marrying Sita. Rama is soul. Sita is viveka buddhi, intuitive intellect, in the potential state. And that's the foundation of the spiritual movement. When soul within you becomes linked to viveka buddhi, a type of understanding that leads the soul to discover its essential nature, leads the soul to enlightenment. And if that happens, your entire personality becomes thrilled. Your personality has 3 stages: Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, Swarloka. Bhurloka is your head. Head means your understanding, your intellectual grasp, the world that you experience through your intellect level, the world you experience through your feelings, that's Swarloka, and the world you experience through your practical world, Bhurloka. And every happening touches the 3 lokas, but not in a profound way. Your intellectual concept changes, your feeling changes, your activities change. But when that stage comes of soul becoming keenly involved with purity of intellect that is leading to enlightenment, at that stage the soul must, in allegorically speaking, break the magnetic pull of the earth, of the world process. The soul is always drawn to the world of karma. Soul must develop that type of strength, that no longer coming back into the world that was represented by Bhavachap, Lord Shankara's bow. Shiva broke that bow. So similarly, there has to come to a stage within your personality. A deep conviction and a will must develop that no longer will I come into the world. There's no need for me to come into the world. But as long as your mind has not understood, there are lots of fascinating things in this world. So then you have not broken the Shiva's bow. But when you have developed a deep, keen understanding, then you have broken the Shiva's bow. And now the soul within you is looking at Sita. And Sita is looking at the eyes with 4 eyes shining. And not only 4 eyes, all gods have joined together. And that elegant setting is being described in the Ramayana. In the storyline, marriage ceremony is coming closer and closer. According to ritualistic way, Rama to marry Sita, and vice versa. Kulriti priti samet ravi kahi detas sabu sadar kiyo. Ehi bhati deva pujai sitai subhaga singha sanudiyo. Sun God, all those who have joined in this, they are gods playing tricks, disguised as human beings. And they have not left their nature of tricks. In brief, all of you are gods. Disguised as human beings. Listening to Rama. So, Sun God himself comes in a very cozy way, not hot like that. And guides them to exactly what type of ritual to be performed, what mantra to be recited. And while he guides, others follow with great reverence. So, traditionally, all the gods were worshipped, and Sage Vasishtha and their Purohit, their priest, Shantananda, they brought Sita, and Sita was placed on a wonderful throne. Now, Sita and Rama are facing each other, and they're looking at each other. And the joy that surges in their heart, nobody can describe it. It's not ordinary joy, because that type of setting thrills the heart of Shiva, Brahma, Indra, Kubera, Lakshmi, Saraswati. They have never seen that type of thing. It's the climax of creation. God went through all the problem of creating the world. 3 planes. And countless stars, millions of light years, for one single purpose, to lead the soul to enlightenment. Once enlightenment, the whole world is dumped. Brahman alone is. Brahma. Try to understand that the whole world you are experiencing is not in itself. It's being experienced through your iPad. Not the small eye. It's a big eye. And the magic is being created by your brain and your nervous system. Such little things create such drama. And all that you are being experiencing through your conditioned mind, operating through your nervous system, all that you are experiencing is Maya. Brahman alone is. If you see the sky blue and write a great poem about it, that's your reality, not the sky. So all the world you are experiencing is Maya, magical power. And the soul has to understand that point through the very same mind that sustains Maya and leads you to delusion. The very same mind has an intrinsic urge to take you to enlightenment. Mind is a cause of bondage and release. So therefore, from a very broad point of view, everything you see, everything you touch, your body, your mind, your intellect, all this is Brahman. If you want easier understanding, think of your dream. In your dream you are having all the world, the problems, past, present and future. But put your finger on anything of this whole, it is your own consciousness. This illustration of your iPad. Your own consciousness is a pad. On that, all this is displaying, googled up. And you wake up, the pad is just out. होम समय तनु धरि अनलु अति सुख आहुति लेहि विप्रवेश धरि वेद सब कहि विवाह विधि देहि. During the ritual performance of Havan, with mantra recitation, you pour sacred materials into the fire. And there is a whole traditional traditional technology behind it. Technology I'm using allegorically. During this time, fire god himself tells this, recite that mantra. Say Swaha. I'm joking, but come to Yajurveda, turn to Atharva Veda. So he himself tells, therefore, there is no possibility of a slightest mistake. And there are many traditional acts that have to be done. The Vedas, 4 Vedas, they are there, 4 Brahmins, elegantly looking, and they are touching the back of Janaka. Do this. Sunayana. They are whispering and telling them exactly how the Vedic worship should be conducted. Who could be a better authority than the Vedas themselves? Why is all being said? Simple point. When you do sadhana, the ideal is don't stay in a morose state. I'm saying easily, but it's not so easy. But then it is a challenge in your life. The ideal is when you are facing your coming to puja and looking at the picture of the deity, don't think at that time that my tea is cooking out there or something else. I'm just joking. But rather think, first stage, prarthana. Offer your prayer, oh God, I'm missing you a lot, please. Come close to me. Touch me. Enfold me. Appear to me. And when you do that, don't keep your mind just in a palabra stage, bring your feeling behind it. That you are actually being touched along with your prarthana, along with your prayer. So that's called first stage is prarthana. Second stage, while you are doing it, you are actually relating to God. Bring your feeling, whatever. Don't question, how can I know God? Who is there? Is he there or not? No. A child sees a mother, he doesn't question. He sees my mother. How should I know that? It's the right thing or not? It's normal. A loving movement. And a thrilling movement. You're in the presence of God. You may say, oh, it's all palabras. But not. In reality, as I have already explained, all your experiences are by that iPad. The experiences are not the realities. They are a display of mind. That mind has that power to change its view, change its attitudes, and come to understand that all this is nothing but God. But all this, instead of all this, the deity right in front of you is not just a picture. Look at it. Who was the artist? Why did he forget the peacock feather on the head of Krishna? I'm joking. Not going to those details. Simply view that the divine presence is right there. And allow yourself to feel a sense of thrill. If you have a hard time, remember you are being a baby and mother before you. And when your puja goes on and you finish it, you emerge out of it well nourished. Not the same person, but relaxed, spiritually charged, renewed. That type of 3 points must blend in your sadhana. Prarthana, darshan and pratiti. And that's what is being brought through these elegant descriptions. Janaka pata mahishi jagajani, siya matu kimi jayi bakani. The queen, the royal queen of King Janaka, Jagat Vikhyat, world famous. It's in a different way to understand, not someone who's gone viral. World famous you can be. It is Jagat Vikhyat. It's mystically that mother who has given sustenance to Viveka Buddhi, Sita, that divine source within. Who can describe the glory of that type of spirit within? That's what Janak's queen is. Mother of Sita. Sujas Sukrita Sukha Sundara Tai, Sab Sameti Vidhi Rachi Banai. Lord Brahma put 4 things and blended them into the embodiment of Sunayana. What are the four things? Suyash, glorious. The glorious radiation of every personality called Suyash. More qualitative you are, more spiritually enriched, the more you radiate. It doesn't, your film camera will not catch it. Sukrit. And all your actions become very virtuous. Sukh, a joyous, a source of joy. And Sundarata, beautiful. I'll give you a subtle meaning. Often we use the term Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Your personality must be the blend of these three. Satyam, your understanding, jnana. Sat alone is real. That's the project for your intellect. The intellect but gain in the deep insight, Sat. Shivam, your heart. Short term refers to all that is virtuous, auspicious, kalyan. Your heart must become very source of wishing well to the entire universe. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. So Satyam shines in your Agnya chakra, the heart spills out all kalyan, all goodness, good feeling. And your kriya, active part of your personality, in Kundalini represented at the navel center. Sundaram. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. And they are blended in every individual. Samaujani muni brahna bulai, sunat suasini sadar lyai. Now the time, astrological time has come. And so the sages were all brought. The women went to bring the sages with great reverence. Janaka Bama Disisoha Sunayana, Himgiri Sangabani Janunmayana. Sunayana is the name of Sita's mother. Nayan refers to eyes. Eyes refer to vision. Vision refers to understanding. That type of understanding that gave birth to Sita, Vivek Buddhi. Therefore, she is Sunayana, beautiful eyes. She is seated on the left side of King Janaka. And they look as if Himalaya, the spirit of Himalaya in the story of Shiva's marriage, Himalaya was seated with his wife called Mana. Kanak kalasa maniko par rure, सुचि सुगंध मंगल जल पूरे निज कर मुदित राय अरुरानी धरे राम के आगे आनी. Golden vessels and plates made out of jewels. They all contain auspicious water and sacred materials. They brought before Rama. Wonderful place. King and queen, King Janaka and Sunayana, holding these wonderful vessels of jewels and plates containing auspicious things they brought to Rama and Sita. Paya punita pakharana lage, and started washing their feet. All this is religious observance. All this observance is done not because their feet were muddy, it's reverential. Charana Kamal, lotus feet, the role of that in mysticism is profound. Lage pakharan paye pankaj prema tan pulakavali nabh nagar gan nishan jaya dhuni umagi janu chau dishi chali. At this stage, Tulsidas goes into ecstasy and writes more melodious verses. He can't stay just watching how the feet of Rama are being washed. He goes into big thrill. The whole city, the very sky, they all began to resonate with songs, trumpets, kettle drums, and Jai, Jai Dhwani. So shut out all other noises, all news breaking. But enjoy the divine celebration. Je pad saroja manoja atari ur sarasadaiva virajahi je sakrita sumirata vimalata man sakala kalimana bhajahi. Those lotus feet of Rama that abide in the heart of Shiva always. Who is Shiva? The destroyer of Kama, the destroyer of that desire that keeps the soul bonded with the world. In a storyline, she destroyed Cupid god, burnt him to ashes. In mystical philosophy, it means mala, all gross impurities, are destroyed by Shiva. That Shiva himself holds Rama's foot in his own heart. Shiva, whose very remembrance of whose name brings purity in mind, and all the evils of Kali Yuga run away. That Shiva holds Rama in his very heart. Rama is here, Brahman, the Absolute. And all deities are presented as adoring that Absolute. ये परसि मुनि वनिता लही गति रही सो पातकमयी मकरंद जिनको शंभु सिर सुचिता अवधि सुर बरनई करी मधुप मन मुनि जोगी जन जे सेई अभिमत गति लहै ते पद पकारत भाग्य भाजनु जनकु जय जय सब कहें. Profound literature. Those who study Hindi literature, this provides a powerful source for literary enrichment. But going beyond, it's a profound way of giving you a basis for upasana, devout meditation on God. Those lotus feet of Rama, remember how the touch of his feet brought salvation to Ahalya, the story of Ahalya who had become a stone, and Rama touched from his foot and she emerged free of all limitations or impurities. And that was a story which I have also explained to you. Faith in a person becomes like a stone if your mind is going after worldly enjoyment. But when Rama's foot touches it, when devotion to Rama comes into your heart, that stone-like faith that had kept you miserable wakes up. And the very Ganges, Ganga, that adorned Shiva's matted locks, where does that Ganga come from? Again, the storyline comes from Lord Vishnu. Rama is an avatara. Lord Vishnu himself is a channel for Rama. And from his foot, water was collected. Lord Vishnu, in the form of Vamana, spread his feet in all directions, and Brahma drew a little water and washed the foot and placed the sacred water in his kamandalu. And from that kamandalu, few drops were released that came in the form of Ganges with tremendous force. That's the storyline. And so first Ganges stayed in the matted locks. Then out of the matted locks, Bhagiratha worked out a adoration to Shiva, and many things happened. And Shiva let loose few drops from his matted locks. And those few drops, they became the Ganga river. They became three Gangas. Ganga that flows in the physical plane. Ganga that purifies your heart. Ganga that purifies your thinking. Trilokagamini. So to understand, even in rituals in daily life, if you are joining any ritual, adoring your father, mother, or having your son, daughter married, learn to see Rama and Sita in them. That would fear it out, how it is possible. बर कुंवरी कर तल जोरी साखो चारु दौ कुल गुर करें भयो पानी गहनु बिलो की विधि सुर मनुज मुनि आनंद भरें. Though now according to the marriage traditional rituals, that comes a stage when the hand of Sita and hand of Rama both join together with chanting of mantras called Pani Grahana. You are holding the hand. Who is holding whose? That you have to figure out. Rama holds the hand of Sita, Sita holds the hand of Rama. What does that mean? Now, once that happens, you are not going to do anything without the agreement with the other. Hand is a symbol of action. Now you don't have your own hand. Always supplement, complement. Don't forget the complement or supplement. Then you have Pani Grahana. Sukhamula dulahu dekhi dampati pulak tanahul syo hiyo kariloka veda vidhanu kanya danu nripabhushana kiyo. So having Panigrahan, joining of hands, and then there were all traditional Vedic chants, and also chants glorifying the family lines. All those who were there witnessing this, they were filled with joy. Gods, human beings, sages, and Rama, who is the very source of all happiness and joy. Beholding Rama, king and queen, King Janaka and Sunayana, both were profoundly thrilled. Their hearts welled up with joy. So in this manner, King Janaka performed Kanya Dan. The daughter is given to the husband. It's called Dan. Dan term is ordinarily known as charity, but that's not really. Its profounder meaning is she is going to become a source of three da. She becomes the source of enriching the husband. Dhamma, control of mind and senses. Dan, charity, developing a sense of universality, universal brotherhood. Daya, compassion, not always looking at people with a superiority complex, but with a motherly feeling of compassion. So if that type of daughter is given to the husband, the match, that's called Kanyadan. I can give you. So the meaning of Kanya. Ka is your action, karma. Nya, Naya, your action that leads you to humility. The action that purifies your heart. Thereby your soul, instead of being bonded with ego, sheds the ego. So that type of relation is Kanyadan. Himavanta Jimi Girija Mahesahi Harihi Shri Sagar Dayi Timi Janaka Ramahi Siya Samarapi Vishwakal Kiratinayi. Just as Himavan, the spirit presiding over the Himalayas, gave Kanyadan, gave Parvati Devi, the daughter of the Himalaya, was married to Shiva. And Himalaya gave that type of charity of daughter to Shiva. And the ocean god gave Lakshmi Devi to Lord Vishnu. All that is elegant stories to highlight the point of Kanyadan. It was not just I'm giving you a crude picture, a tremendous relief on the part of the parents. and a great pleasure to the part of the other side of the dowry they have received. That's very crude. But that's the world. Even after marriage, they will go on reminding the girl that your father didn't give what he promised. So don't assert your greatness here. I'm giving you a picture of hell. From that is a picture of profound divine attitude. And with this marriage, a joyous radiation as if permeated the world. क्यों करे विनय विदेहु कियो विदेहु मूरति सांवरी करी होम विधिवत गांठी जोरी होन लागी भांवरी. And Janaka, who is known as Videha, but he was in a theoretical state. I'm not the body. But at this stage, he actually becomes Videha. I'm spicing up the story. In other words, if your devotion to Rama comes to a high level, body idea, I am the body, moves away from you. That's the secret of becoming Videha. Videha is your reality. You are not Deha, Dehalo. You know, Spanish word. Deha is body. Leave it aside. And Rama and Sita, they put the knots, one part of the cloth from Rama and a little core of sari from Sita, they join together in the knot. And in knotted way, they go 7 times the fire. It's called Bhavari, whirlpool type of movement. And behind that is a whole presentation of essence of Yoga Vasishtha. Every soul having wedded with Vivek Buddhi together, soul cannot advance unless there is understanding, sanmati, good understanding or Vivek Buddhi. So bonded together, go through 7 steps. First step, aspiration, shubhecha. Second, whirl, as you whirling, second point, vicharana. Mind becomes reflective. It is not dominated by your just wild sentiments. You are able to hold your sentiments, watch them. I'm saying things very quickly, but must realize it's a big project in life. And if you don't get to it, don't despair. This is your goal. And then third stage, tanu manasi. All those impurities that keep the mind distracted, they become so thinned out that your mind becomes very calm, joyous. And fourth state, they are not just thinned out, they are burnt up, roasted. Once they are roasted, you can chew them, but they can't be grown. They won't germinate anymore. Sattvapatti state is that state. That's when a person becomes enlightened. That's called Jivan Mukti state. Then other states follow. The world gradually begin to appear like things in dream. Like clouds moving in the sky, you are detached. Then comes a stage when the world is not there. The question of detaching doesn't arise. Ocean realizes I am all the waves. The question, detach from your waves. And then finally, indescribable, 7th, the ultimate. Those 7, fire is your symbol of wisdom. Go around that fire, 7 steps. And that's how marriage, soul's marriage, anyone's married state is ultimately meant for attaining the purpose of life. And the purpose of life is these 7 points. And you are given all that as samskara. The unconscious begins to understand it and hold it. Conscious enjoys the wonderful celebration and wonderful foods. I'm joking, but all people are at different levels. How you enjoy depends upon your personality, your vasana. जय धुनि बंदी वेद धुनि मंगल गान निशान सुनि हर शहि वर शहि विबुध सुरतरु सुमन सुजान. All types of sound. Jai, Jai Dhvani. Bandi Dhvani, people, they're called bards. They glorify glorious words spoken about Janaka, about Dasharatha, etc. Veda Dhuni and Brahmin people will chanting the mantras, Sahana Vavatu, and so many types of mantras, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, etc. Mangal Gan, all auspicious songs. And gods who are always hovering over the sky. And they have lots of flowers in their hands. And the flowers they get from Kalpavriksha, the tree that fulfills all desires. In other words, gods are touching your mind is being touched by a kind of joy that will lead you, the soul, to the ultimate fulfillment. And all desires are fulfilled. And with this, I'm going to conclude. Story is not going fast, but okay, prayer for all of you. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukuma Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchidduka Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritam Gamaya Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om.